Welcome back, friends, to our Sigma Forecast. And today's reading is a heartfelt one, requested by one of you. Today we're honoring a true legend, Layne Staley, the unforgettable voice of Alice in Chains. Layne gave the world some of the most beautiful haunting music of this generation, but behind that powerful voice was a soul in deep pain. He carried a heavy battle with addiction, and he never truly recovered from losing the great love of his life, Demri. In his final years, he pulled away from the world and lived in seclusion, and we lost him far too soon, at just 34 years old. So today, with the gentlest heart, I want to sit with my cards and remember him. This reading is not for entertainment. My heart goes out to his family, his bandmates, and every fan whose life his voice has touched. And if you are struggling with addiction, grief, or loss, please reach out. In the US, you can call or text 988 anytime. You're not alone, and your life matters. Okay. And the first one, who was Layne Staley? What was his true spirit and soul like? Layne Staley. What was his true spirit and soul like? Strengths. Four of Wands. Page of Wands. Six of Cups. Three of Swords. The Devil. Addiction. These cards paint him so beautifully and so honestly. His soul was one of gentle strength. Strength's card. That rare mix of immense power and immense tenderness. He had that thunderous, unforgettable voice, and beneath it, one of the softest hearts. Six of Cups. An almost childlike innocence, a nostalgic, deeply feeling soul. He was a fiercely creative, passionate artist. Page of Wands. Pure creative fire, and he found his real family, his belonging in his music and his band. Four of Wands. But the cards don't hide his pain. Three of Swords. The profound heartbreak he carries at his core, a deep, aching wound. And the Devil. And I hold this with compassion, not judgment. The chains of addiction he was bound to. The demon he fought so hard, but couldn't break free from. So, who was Layne? A powerful, gentle, achingly sensitive soul. An artist who felt everything so deeply that his sensitivity was both his greatest gift and his deepest wound. The world heard his strength. His heart carried the pain. My heart goes out to him. Okay. What was Layne really struggling with inside? What was Layne really struggling with inside? The Empress. Struggling about his Empress. Ten of Wands. Nine of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. Nine of Cups. Strength. Again. Queen of Cups. It's so tender and so heavy. At the very core, an overwhelming grief and a love-shaped emptiness. The Empress and the Queen of Cups. Two cards of love and deep emotion. He was drowning in sorrow, aching for the loving presence he lost. His immense sensitivity overwhelming him like an ocean. On the top of that grief, a crushing weight. Ten of Wands. A burden of pain, addiction and fame too heavy to bear. and he carried in profound isolation. Nine of Pentacles, a man with comfort and means but utterly alone, withdrawn into a gilded cage. Queen of Wands, the tragedy of it, his vibrant, alive self, fading into a shadow. Nine of Cups, chasing a hollow comfort, reaching for anything to numb a pain that never healed. And through all of it, strength came back from question 1, the exhausting endless battle to tame his demons and hold himself together. So what was he struggling with? A beautiful, sensitive soul, drowning in grief, alone, exhausted, numbing a wound that wouldn't close. If only he could have known how deeply he was loved. And if you feel any of this, please reach out. You don't have to carry it alone. Okay. How deeply did losing Demri break him? How deeply did losing Demri break him? Six of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Page of Swords, the Sun. This one broke my heart to read, because she wasn't just part of his world, she was nearly all of it. Look at what the cards say she was to him. A real grounding love. Ace and Six of Pentacles. His happiness, Nine of Cups. His home and belonging, Four of Wands. And his light, his sun, his joy, the Sun. She was his ground, his home, his happiness, and his light all at once. So when she died, he didn't lose one thing. He lost everything in a single moment. His foundation collapsed, his home shattered, his sun went dark. And here's the part that's almost unbearable. Two of these cards came back from earlier. The happiness he spent his final years desperately chasing. Nine of Cups. And the home he'd lost, Four of Wands. Those were her. He was trying to fill a hole shaped exactly like Demri, and nothing on earth could. The Page of Swords, what he was left with, a mind haunted by grief, replaying her loss, thoughts that never let him rest. So how deeply did it break him? Utterly. She was irreplaceable, and losing her took the light out of his whole world. But hold on to the sun, because even in this darkness, it whispers that her light endures. And love like that is never truly lost. My heart aches for them both. Okay, what were Layne's final isolated years truly like? What were his last years? Three of Cups, Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, the Tower, not very good, Knight of Cups, Cups and the Tower, Knight of Pentacles. I'll hold this most gently because it's the saddest part of his story. Eight of Cups is the heart of it. He walked away. He turned his back on the world, on fame, on his music, on the friends he once had. Three of Cups. The connection he left behind, and he retreated deep into solitude. And that solitude was a frozen, monotonous existence. The Eight of Pentacles. A life that had simply stopped moving, static, standing completely still. He escaped inward the Knight of Cups. Lost in an inner world of memory and dreams, living among his feelings and the past, disconnected from reality, and beneath it all the tower. A slow motion collapse, his health, his body, his world quietly crumbling into ruin. And nothing something. For the first time in his whole reading, no one card repeated. Even in the cards this year stand utterly alone, which is itself the truest picture of his isolation. I share this with deep compassion, never judgment. He was in so much pain. But please hold on, because the light is coming. My heart goes to him. Layne's soul at peace now? Is his soul at peace now? Ten of Cups, Page of Swords, the Lovers, the Empress, Justice, Nine of Pentacles. After everything so heavy in this reading, the universe gave us the most beautiful healing answer, yes. And look how it says it. 3 cards came back from his question of pain, but every single one returned transformed into its healed opposite. Page of Swords. That was his haunted, tormented grief. Now it's a clear, peaceful mind. The torment lifted. The Empress. That was his aching longing for the love he lost. Now it's love restored. That loving presence with him again. And Nine of Pentacles. That was his lonely isolation. Now it's serene, content and peace. The loneliness healed. So do you see it? Everything that broke him in life has been mended. And the new cards crown it. Ten of Cups. The harmony and fulfillment he never had, justice, the scales of all that suffering, finally rebalanced into a just earned peace, and the Lovers. Love restored, a soulmate reunion. His soul isn't just at peace, it's at peace because he's been made whole again, held in love. So is Layne's soul at peace? Yes, completely, radiantly, lovingly at peace. His mind is quiet, his loneliness is gone, and love has found him again. And that Lover's card is already whispering the answer to our very last question. My whole heart is at rest for him. And our last question. Is Layne finally reunited with Demri on the other side? Is Layne finally reunited with Demri on the other side? Page of Cups, Ace of Cups, Cups, Ten of Cups, wow, 3 Cups, King of Wands, the Moon, Knight of Pentacles. The cards give it radiantly. Yes, look at how the love pours through. 3 Cups cards here. A tender reconnection. Page of Cups. Their love overflowing in you. The cup full again. Ace of Cups. And complete joyful togetherness. 10 of Cups. And here's what undoes me. The 10 of Cups came back from question 5, where it was his soul's peace, which means his peace and being with Demri are the very same thing. She is in his peace, then to beautiful transformation. King of Wands, Layne restored to his full, vibrant, glowing self. Remember his vitality fading in his struggle. Now he's the king, whole, alive again, shining in her love, and the Knight of Pentacles, which in his lonely final years was his frozen, standing still isolation, comes back transformed into steadfast, eternal devotion. The stillness that was dead in life, now a love that lasts forever, and the moon. Their reunion in the realm beyond the veil. So is Layne reunited with Demri? Yes, completely, joyfully, forever. The love that was his whole world, that he lost and never recovered from. It's restored. He's whole again, at peace and home in her arms at last. They found each other again. And that is our reading for Layne Staley. Offer it with all my love. Let's hold it all together. Who was he? A powerful yet gentle soul, an achingly sensitive artist whose sensitivity was both his gift and his wound. What was he struggling with? A crushing grief and love-shaped emptiness, alone, fighting to tame his demons. How deeply did losing Demri break him? Completely. She was his sun, his home, his happiness, and losing her took the light from his whole world. What were his final years? A lonely retreat, a frozen, collapsing solitude. But then the light. Is his soul in peace? Yes, radiantly. Every wound that broke him healed. And is he reunited with Demri? Yes. Whole again, glowing again, home in her arms, together forever. So through all the pain, Layne's story ends not in darkness, but in love restored and peace found. Rest easy, Layne. Sing free and hold your Demri close. And to everyone who ever found themselves in his voice, his music and his soul, live on. One last thing from my heart. Layne's story is a reminder of how much silent pain a person can carry behind even the brightest gift. So if you are struggling with addiction, with grief, with a darkness inside, please reach out. In the US, call or text 988 anytime. You're not alone. You're loved and the world needs you here. This reading was only to honor Layne's memory through spiritual insight, never for entertainment. If it touched you, please like, subscribe and leave a memory of Layne below. Thank you for being here with me. Take care of your beautiful hearts.